Hello, good evening. This is Sharon from Everything Beautiful. So this evening I want to show you something. I want to show you how to make a collar that looks like a roll collar, but it is not a roll collar. I know for some of you it might be a little bit challenging to do certain colors. You probably have a nice jacket or blouse that you would like to make a color for, and you don't know how to do it. Maybe you know how to do a shirt color, and that is it. So I'm going to be manipulating the fabric to make this color. So my mother always manipulate the fabric, twist it and turn it however she wants, and that's what I'll be doing this evening to show you how to get a color that looks like a roll collar. So this is what the blouse looks like, and this is the collar. This part here is the back that will be resting on the back of the blouse, okay? But because there isn't a back, then I just bring it up like that. And if you notice here, it looks like a roll collar. So that's what we're going to make. So here I have the blouse, and I've cut it already, and it's just the same blouse that I showed you to do a few days ago. It's the same, it's just that this is a miniature, and that is what it's looking like. I joined the shoulders, and it's an open front, so the buttons will be right here, and I will be adding a facing to it, even though you could have done otherwise. You could have folded it under, but I wanted to show you how you can you know, add facing, a separate facing to the garment. So this is the facing, and it's going to go like this and come back here and come around the neck. The collar is going to be in between. I've also cut a facing for the back. You didn't have to do that because you could use bias binding, but I wanted to show you this way of finishing the neckline. So I have a little example here of the front of the blouse. I don't know if you can see. And why I cut this separate, even though I've already cut the garment, you know, cut the separate pieces, I wanted to show you how to cut the facing. Now I did show you to do some facings last night, but I didn't show you to do the open front facing. So this is where this comes in. So I have two pieces of fabric there. I've already done the neckline and the shoulder, and this piece here should have a little shape. It shouldn't be straight, so that's what I'm going to be doing. So it is something like that. So that is what it's looking like. Here's a little bit too wide, so yeah, this is what it's looking like. Now the facing, I told you that the facing for the neckline, the armhole, should be 2.5 inches wide, but when you're doing the facing for the front here, coming up into the shoulder, it can be 3 inches, 3.5 inches wide. Okay, so you can decide on that. All right, but this is what it's looking like. So let's go ahead. The next step, I will be cutting the collar. So I've pinned the back together. So this is the entire back and the two pieces of the front together. So this is the neckline, and I'm going to cut it on the fabric. This area here is called the decollete. So from here to here, you know, is the decollete. So here it is. I've doubled the fabric and it's on the bias. So this would be one, and I will fold this again. So we have two double pieces. I will fold it like this, And I will now place the garment, the center back, onto the folded area there, and I will pin it to ensure that it stays in place. So this is it. I'll pin there, sure that it's lying flat, and this part is flat also. It's very relaxed. So that's what I'll do. The next step will be, I want to draw hair right around, okay, right around like this with a pen, and stop right here. Okay, so that is what it's looking like. I'll now take this off and I will decide on the neckline. So I said I'll decide on the neckline. It's not really the neckline. I have the neckline here. I'll decide on the outer part of the collar. So I will just sketch it off, and as a matter of fact, you can decide how wide you want it. Now this is a miniature, so I'm not doing it very wide. Okay, it's just to give you an idea of how you can get that color to look like a roll collar. Alright, so that is what it's looking like, and I'm going to cut it and let you have a look at it. Oh, that was not recording. I had too much videos on the phone. Okay, so after you give it a little notch here and here, you are going to add press-on pellon to one side. Okay, after you press on the pellon, you are going to put right side to right side like this, and keep it together. Then you are going to be stitching from here, this point, right around to the other end. When you're through with that, you are going to give it some little notches so that it will be easy to turn over. When you finish doing that, you're going to turn it over and you're going to give it an edge stitch to the side that is going to be underneath. You don't want the edge stitch to be showing on this side. Okay, so you're going to stitch it on the side that is underneath. I will now pin it to the blouse. Okay, and I'll open my seam here. This fabric is a little thick, so I'll open my seam. So what you are going to do, you can baste it or pin it if you have control. All right, or even stitch it down if you want to keep it in place. All right, so you open the seam, pin it like this, and I will now add the facing.